Yo, what's up, people? It's your boy Jason Guna back again with some more content for the people. Yes, welcome back to Jason Guna TV. Of course, as you know, the YouTube stuff, we have to like the videos, we have to share the content around to some more people so they can know we are making content. And of course, if you are new to the channel, subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell so you can be aware when the channel is live or put out some content for you to view. So of course, today, as you see in the title and the thumbnail, we will be doing a live interview for the first time on Jason Guna TV. We're going to have a guest that we're going to talk to, an interview, pick their brain, and it is the 876 stream director, Rasheed Hall. So he will be joining us all the way from Switzerland. And so, yeah, we're going to basically welcome him to the channel, get a little background and, how it came to be, his relationship with 876 Stream, how it all got started, and of course, dive into the relationship that was recently formed with the Jamaica national team. So, yes, people, as I enter, I'm going to just see all those who have checked in from the beginning. Of course, Fresh God, thank you so much for being here, bro. Letting the people know how the subscriber count is going. Also, welcoming Rasheed as well. My namesake is in the building, ready up. Yep, we're there on, Jay. We are doing a thing. Yeah, Jean-Pierre fan, blessing up. Yeah, Jean-Pierre fan, we are trying a thing, bro. We're just trying to put out the content and let people know we are in the space. And hopefully if people like the content, they subscribe and they keep coming back. You know what I mean? Bless up, Drew Ross. You don't know. Big up yourself. One of the proudest United fans I know. Can I talk to him right now? Them get them trophy. More successful season, they say. Yeah. Float management, bless up yourself. Duckland, Barlett's TV, big up yourself. Check. Yeah, man, Jay, we're there. Yeah, so as you see, people, on the stream, we are going to be interviewing Rasheed today. So we're just going to give him a little time to get into the building. While I do so, I just wanted to, again, let you know and reiterate that if you happen to want to purchase tickets for the upcoming game on June the 6th, I do have a promo code I can give you to give you 10% off discount on the site. So what I want to do as we get waiting for Rasheed to enter, I just want to show you guys, go through it step by step exactly how you would get about getting these tickets, right? So let me just show you on the screen here. All right, so as you can see, the JFF website, this is the home page. When you get to it, this is what you will see. So clearly you can see in this box here, buy tickets. You click on buy tickets. Once you click on buy tickets, it will take you onto this page here. And, like it has a little countdown there. So we are 1 week, 1 day away. So 8 days, as you see underneath the headline there of my name. And of course, you have the option to pick grandstand or bleachers or both. So I will just say, okay, 5 bleachers tickets. You add that to your cart. Once you get here, you can view the cart. And once you get to view cart, before you put in the information to buy anything, in this coupon code here, you're going to want to put in Jason Gooner TV. Once you click apply coupon, boom, it will be there for you. $100 now becomes $90 US if you want to purchase 10 tickets for the bleachers. So that is it right there, people. How you get there, very simple. Click of a button, you're there. And of course, don't forget in the promo, in the coupon code here, type in Jason Guna TV, one word, and it will be there. As you can see, I have been on the site, so my coupon is already applied anytime I enter. So it kind of knows that I'm back again to purchase some more. So yes, there is no cap on how many you can purchase. Oh, the window wasn't showing? Really? Oh, you're right, because it's another page. Okay, let me fix that for you people so you can see. So after I click on that first buy ticket screen, the next one it's going to take you to is this right here. Let me just go back. All right. So let me pull that up for you. big deal. Say you can also get it using that code. I don't know how true that is. But yeah, here's the site that the buy tickets will take you to. This is it right here. And of course, you just scroll down the page and you select what you want. So we're just gonna say bleachers, and I'm gonna say 5 tickets. And then when you hit add to cart and you go to checkout, so as you see, my coupon code was already applied. So $50 saved me $5 on my purchase. So it's going to be $45 for those 5 tickets. So all you have to do, people, in the promo code is type in, and if you go to view cart, you'll see it. You got to type in the promo code here. Now, it already knows because I've been on the site doing some purchasing. That's my code there, Jason Guna TV. Of course, there are many YouTubers that have gotten a code, so use whichever one you want. But of course, since you're here, I'll let you know, Jason Guna TV, that will get you 10% off your purchase. So make sure we're utilizing that, people. They did give us a way to get some, a better deal on your tickets. Of course, I know a lot of, like myself, I'm in the diaspora. I will not be able to go to the game, but anybody that wanted to go that I know, I've tried to provide some tickets for them. So, any little help on the purchasing of those, I will greatly appreciate. And of course, with the grandstand tickets being a little more, that 10% can come in handy as well. So yes, people, there's a little update, or not an update, but just a interactive, so you could see exactly how you get to it and get that 10% off on your ticket purchase. So let's check back in with the chat again as we wait for Rasheed to join us. He did let me know that he would be a little bit after I started, which I said was totally fine. We can get going in the chat and get people here, and then we can move on with the purpose of this stream, which is to interview Mr. Rasheed Hall. So let's see what people are saying here. Pristine, big up yourself. Toffee Rudy, bless up. Hope you enjoyed the content last night. I saw you there, very interactive, Toffee Rudy. So thanks for viewing that Reggae Girls video with us. Never came with that narrative. No, Drew, you're right. I can admit that some of my Arsenal brethren are very overzealous in their fandom. So I understand the feelings of the United Massive after winning the cup. I understand. See, Brent Garden saying United fans are the Lulu. There you go. One done. Sherman Scott from Clarendon. Big up yourself. Ty, blessings, Jason. Jerome, bless up, my G. Yeah, man, people. So as soon as we get going, of course, I'm going to go ahead and conduct this interview with Rasheed. I'm going to try to get through it, relatively quickly, so we can leave space for those in the chat who would like to also ask him some questions. And, we want to be mindful of his time. We know that he's a working man, and I'm just grateful that we found the time to get this going. So before I let him on stream, I just want to let you guys know a little bit about him. Of course, his name is Rasheed Hall, as you saw on the title of the video. He's a native of Montego Bay, does hold a master's in sport administration and technology from the Academy of Sports Science and Technology in Lausanne. And of course, he lives in Switzerland now. And that, of course, is known as the Olympic capital of the world. So yeah, without further ado, people, I want to introduce to everyone the director of 876 Stream, one of the shareholders as well. And he goes by the name of Mr. Rasheed Hall. So let's welcome him into the stream. Rasheed, how are you doing, boss?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well, man. Thanks so much for joining us on the program. And I hope that this will be helpful for yourself and the team. And of course, it's just a exchanging of ideas on these platforms. And I think that one of the things that I've noticed about all of the guys in the 876 Stream, they have been very welcoming to all forms of media, trying to get the word out and talk and exchange ideas. And I think that can only be good for us moving forward. So first and foremost, Rasheed, I just want to hear a bit about your story. Tell us a little bit about your upbringing, your childhood, what schools you attended, things of that nature, so people can familiarize themselves and see if they are going to be truly a fan of you or not. And one thing as well before you start, when I put the stream out, some of my fan base and the people I know, they immediately asked me, so hold on, this whole time you were holding out to do an interview, you wanted it to be with a family member first. So, of course, my last name as well is Hall.
Yes.
To let everyone know, I do not know if Rasheed is related to me, but hey, you never know what may happen in the future. But Rasheed, go ahead. The floor is yours, boss.
No, give thanks, Jason. No, I appreciate you being willing to have us on the show, have me on the show, talk about the work that we're doing with the JFF and what we're trying to achieve with this campaign and to try to move forward sport and the sporting industry as a whole. Because JFF is just one of the many federations that we work with. A little bit about me. So, yeah, as I mentioned, I'm from Montego Bay. Grew up there, went to Cornwall College. That's my alma mater. I was head boy in my year as well. Left there, went to UWI in Kingston, and that's where the involvement in sports really took life. My younger brothers, both of them actually, went to KC, but the middle one, he actually ran track and field for KC. So as medals from champs during the time of Jazeel Murphy, Adam Cummins, these kind of people. He was a part of that mix. He was in that top three in those races. And so by being closer with the KC fraternity, you sort of get to see what it is like to really build out a true program around one particular sport. And that, in a way, sort of already started to pique my interest. Because I guess, like I said, for most of the fans, I was just really a sports fanatic before. In my final year at UWI, Miss Grace Jackson, who was the director of sports at the time, came to our class, did a presentation on sports at the university, and I kind of gave it to her. I asked all kind of questions. I was asking why not more things for off-campus students? Why not, why isn't sports day more visible, etc. And she just kind of said to me, "Well, if you're so interested and so passionate, why don't you come and volunteer?" And it was a Thursday, and I was at her office on the Monday morning. I was always like that. I was always about getting things done immediately and, sort of putting action where words are. So, just to make a sort of longer story short, so I was a student volunteer at U in the sports department. We did a lot of things there. When I graduated, the university kept me on board, so then offered me an opportunity to work in the sports department, and that's when things really got deep. I happened to be there at the time when Dalton Myers and Professor Shirley was leading up things, and that's when you're saying us training at the school. So we got the track at that time. We did a sports scholarship program. I was managing that. So you have athletes like Hansa Parchman, that's one of the first athletes I brought on as a sports scholarship student. Ravman Powell, who was West Indies captain now, was one of the last ones I did before I left. Rachel Clayton came through that program as well. Quite a few names that are not household names benefited from that opportunity at that time. And so for me, it was about deciding, do I want to continue in sports in a full way as a career? And having worked at the university for 4 or 5 years, having also had the opportunity to work with Intercol, I volunteered there. That's our version of NCAA's, university sports, which was very low. I put a lot of energy into that as well, and had the opportunity of being the team manager for Jamaica and university games in China and Russia. And it gave me that motivation to believe that, boy, if there's even 4 jobs left in sports in Jamaica, if it's only 4 jobs, makes sense. Based on my experience, based on being a 24-year-old, going with the national team to Commonwealth Games as a manager, I must, I'm setting myself up to be able to get those opportunities. But I wanted to develop myself further. I wanted to be able to bring new things to the market, not to just do what was happening beforehand. And so, like there comes the process, studying, trying to figure out where can I do a master's, where's the best place to actually achieve that. And, where could I get some financial support? Because, it is, it's one thing to get into a school, but to be able to afford it's another thing. So at that time, 25-ish, applying across Europe, across the US as well. I preferred Europe because Europe was a 1-year master's and I couldn't think of 2 years without earning. I was helping my family a lot, my parents and stuff. So to be able to go into a non-income generation situation was a little bit scary. Mm-hmm. But I got a full scholarship to come here to Switzerland to the Academy of International Sport and Technology. And that was in 2015. So you take the journey from Jamaica, from Kingston to an unknown country, with a dream, really, to just try to develop as much as possible, try to learn as much about sport. This program was, there was a partnership with the International Olympic Committee, so they were a key part of the program. And as we know, Switzerland is a HQ for federations. FIFA is here, UEFA is here, IOC is here, FIBA is just 3 minutes from our house actually right now. That's the Basketball Federation,
Mhm,
and
mhm.
many others. So that's really the summary. Came here, did my masters, worked with the Olympics for a bit, then went over to UEFA on Euro 2020, worked on sponsorship there. And I'm in a different position now, but then I got this opportunity to be a part of 876 Stream. So when I got that call to say, can you come and help us professionalize what was at that time a bit more of a hobby, that I jumped at that because I've always been involved in sport. Even when I was here, I've always been involved in sport through the GOA, different things as well. So that was a good chance to join this, and I'm sure we'll talk a little bit more about that.
Sure, yeah. So thanks for that summary, man. That should give people an idea of, what you have done, where you have been. Now, another thing I want to ask you, just tying into that summary you just gave me, how much of your experience in those instances with the Jamaican contingents, how much has that helped you now in your current role? Obviously, um, working with the in Geneva there. How has that kind of helped to form what you do now with them?
I would say it's a little bit different. When I was in Jamaica, I was working a lot, as I said, with the team, so with the athletes themselves, a bit on the event side as well. We did a lot of new things at UE Tech Sports Championships. I created that. I created a UE Sports Leadership Academy, etc. So it was very much on the ground,
Mhm.
in the grind with the athletes, really doing that work. When I came here, and a bit of marketing and events, as I said. When I came here, my goal was fundamentally to try to learn the business side of sports. I actually wanted to initially try to find a position in Puma or Adidas or one of those companies because I was extremely keen on trying to learn the business side of it. That for me was a part that we did not, as a country, we did not necessarily have. Always good at being at least, always good at putting on the show and being a part of the show. But when the contracts, the money side, the development, the sponsorship element, that's the part I think that we are particularly weak at. And so being able to get that opportunity to work on Euro 2020 as a sponsorship coordinator and working with those big contracts. I managed brands like SoCar. I was involved with the VW relationship as well, Panini, Konami. So, you're talking about contracts that are like from 5 million to 60 million US. And how do you ensure that people get their value for that across a 4-year period? So I would say that is really the key element of what I've learned here that is most useful to what we're doing now at Stream and what we're trying to do in terms of develop Jamaican market.
Got you. So prior to like joining on with Stream, is it a situation where they kind of found you, or did you guys have a prior relationship from previous experiences in Jamaica before?
No, I saw a good friend of mine, another Cornwallian as well, Conrad Matheson, who's one of the other shareholders in Stream. He was the one who gave me the call. The Stream team is quite energetic. Some of the founding members are some KC alumni as well. Guys who wanted to um, do something different, something disruptive in the sports market. And I actually saw Stream as a platform. I remember seeing the Leon Bailey interview, for example. That's before I joined. They did also one with a couple other athletes as well. And I remember thinking that this is so interesting because we're on COVID time and they have time to watch
Mm-hmm.
stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They're interviewing these persons who we saw at high school level who we don't know them to them. Not Leon Bailey in that case, but they're also
Right.
interviewing a lot of athletes who went to the US, for example.
Right. Maybe
Michael
maybe an athlete
athletes.
who did really well at champs that maybe we
Yeah,
have.
what happened
Yeah.
to them
Okay.
after that? And it was very interesting content. At the time, I did not know one closest friends was involved in the company until he gave me the call and said, listen, we want to, really expand this thing into a professional scenario. We want you to come on board. Would you get involved? Bring your network, your knowledge, your experience from overseas and help us move this forward. And for me, that was a no-brainer.
Sounds great, man. Sounds great. Because I think one of the things that, one of the reasons why I actually started this channel, I don't live in Jamaica anymore. I've moved overseas. I live in
Mm,
Georgia in the States. And I'm
yes.
always battling with how can I stay engaged or stay in tune with what's going on? Or how can I even help from where I am? And so to hear your story is kind of it helps me to kind of see, okay, where do I fit in? How can I help? So I've started a channel, as you can see. And of
Yes.
course, I'm a fanatic of football, but I've been a
Mhm.
Jamaica fan all my life. And so it's really easy for me to create content about around it. But I also want to make sure that it's geared and doing something to push the football forward, right? So it's that fine line of, fandom, but also wanting to see it improve. And so,
Yeah.
finding that spot is really good for me. And I think hearing your story kind of helps to see how I can tie back in. Maybe I need to connect with some in Jamaica as well and try to develop the relationships there. So I'm getting ideas myself hearing you speak about this. So that's cool. One of the main reasons why I wanted to link up with you as well is because I am not in Jamaica. You are not in Jamaica, but you
Mm.
would consider yourself a big part of this push that we are doing now with the JFF and 876 stream. So what I wanted to ask you more directly in regards to the relationship with the JFF, um, what do you see as the importance or the role that diasporans play in keeping the consciousness and the brand of Jamaican football at the forefront?
When you're in the diaspora yourself, I myself, just on Monday I was in the UK for City Splash, watching Capitan, Beanie Shensia on stage in front of 30,000 people. And it never going to those things overseas always serves as a reminder of how powerful the Jamaican brand is, how connected we are to that. Because not everybody there was Jamaican, and maybe half the persons because it's UK was Brixton, but there's so much other people who love us as a country.
Mm-hmm.
But in addition to that, when we talk about the diaspora, I feel, technically speaking, and for good reason, those in the diaspora actually hang on to their Jamaican identity a lot more, or at least equal to us living on the island. I say us because I'm always in Jamaica, and I don't think I really left mentally. I'm just
Right.
physically here. It's because in a new space, you're trying to ensure you remember and hold on to who you are, and being Jamaican is a huge part of that. Jamaica is one of those countries where it is a part of you. It's a part of who you are. So how can the diaspora be involved? We need the diaspora support. The diaspora represents equal or even more now, if you look at the data, persons of Jamaican heritage than those of us on those on the island.
It's all right,
And
man. We can say us.
I'm on it come out sometimes. um, so I think that it is very, very important. It's an area that we want to tap into. We know that people want to be involved. We know that people want to be able to represent and show who they are. And football, sport in general, but football is a great avenue through which that can be done.
Absolutely. I agree there. So just want to dive into a little more of the details as far as it relates to the partnership that was formed between yourselves and the JFF. I know that you guys are, and you can correct me if I misspeak in any way, you guys are a marketing company, correct?
I would say we are multifaceted. We're a digital media entity, and I said there's three elements to what we do. One is, and for me, that is first and foremost, we are a B2C consumer platform, meaning that we have the page 876 Stream. That's a space where fans of Jamaican sport can get in one space information around what's happening. And one of the key things that we did, certainly when I got involved, what we tried to do was we focused on popular sports, so
Mm-hmm.
of course football, track and field, etc. But we also saw ourselves as a platform of education. So if you look through posts from before, you'll see a lot of things on lacrosse, which
Yeah.
nobody was really covering. You'll see a lot of things on badminton, and hockey, and rugby.
Awesome rugby.
Sports which Jamaicans do well in, but maybe don't necessarily get the level of coverage that they deserve. We wanted to be the space to help those sports go forward. We did a little nitro stuff as well to it with our Jamaican driver. So the
Just to,
beat,
just to throw one more in there,
yeah,
I represented Jamaica in golf at the youth level. So throwing
okay,
the thing out to highlight
okay.
some golfers doing big things across the world.
That would be very interesting. We'd love to hear those stories. We always said, and I said when I came in, we're not Jamaica Observer or Jamaica Beginner. They have their role. They are informing people about what is happening. They're giving results. Our personal objective is to do storytelling. We're trying to sell the stories of the athletes and what's happening behind the scenes and what's happening with these sports. So that's one element of it. But then we also realize, as I said, we come in with a commercial mentality. Myself from the business side of sport, my colleague and friend Conrad Matson as well. How do we monetize? I've worked on the federation side, and I know that this is the biggest challenge. We have great ideas, they want to do a lot of stuff, we don't have the money. And how do we ensure that we do two things? Monetize sport and ensure that sports become professional. So marketing is a big part of that, but I would say more it's about it's a wider scope in terms of consultation, because marketing is an element, PR is an element, sponsorship is an element which is different than marketing, because sponsorship really and truly connects back to sales for the brand. So it's a lot of that as well into the mix. So we are, I would say, a turnkey solution in the sports industry now, bringing the business side of sports on one hand and bringing fan consumption on the other side.
All right, all right. That sounds good. So basically, the key things we always hear, as you said, whenever it comes down to Jamaican football or any kind of, steps that we might try to make forward is capital, right? We don't have the capital to do what we want to do. So how we monetize our ideas is, I think, paramount. So I'm glad that you're focused on that there. Just digging a little deeper into the relationship itself. Now, I know marketing sometimes will entail commercialization as well. Is that something that 876 Stream is doing with the JFF as well?
So there are many elements to it. What I am able to say now is that our first objective is to focus on the marketing of the games. We're also involved in ensuring that the federation is able to commercialize, as we mentioned, so bringing in partners and sponsors. And that's a big part of what is happening, and it's trying to move the needle forward for the federation. I am old enough, I guess, if I can say that, to remember the '98 campaign as a youngster.
As am I. We'll say we're wise enough.
Yeah, wise enough or more experienced enough. As a youngster from Montego Bay, literally driving to Kingston, which at the time was 4 hours plus, to watch these games that were playing at maybe 3 p.m. So I'm going up with my mom at midday to sit down in the stadium 3 hours before full Pepe Goodison walkout before it even starts. So at the end of the day, I've been at the stadium like 5 hours and probably have to take a hotel before I can go back down the next day. But that memory stays in my head. That was just a major part of my life experience. And for me personally, having worked at this level in sport to me, there's the competition element, but there's a big objective behind sport. Sport is something that can shift the mentality of a nation. Our country has a lot of great things going on. Our country also has a lot of challenges. For me, sport is a tool that can be used to be infectious in terms of the mindset of the people. When we win a game, the kind of feeling you get is hard to replicate. If we go over to the US and we beat them up 2-0, or if they come to our home and we do that, or Mexico, or whichever team, there's a feeling, the kind of pride they get is that in that moment you even forget that there's no challenges. That is a powerful thing. And for me, the sport can also tap into issues that we have in the health sector, issues that we have with crime. It is a fundamental tool that should be used as a vehicle to solve some of the challenges that we have. So when we look in big picture, we're really looking at it in a way that this is why the campaign's name is Jamaica Land We Love. I don't think there may be some other great slogans that could come as well, but that fundamentally is what we wanted to achieve. We wanted to bring that national pride back. We wanted for people to realize this is not about, we're going to win the games, of course, and we're going to the World Cup, but it is bigger than that. It is about us as Jamaican people coming together as a community and enjoying the sport and having that oneness together again. Jamaica Land We Love, win, lose, or draw, and male, female, youth football across all levels.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, so I did want to leave a little time. I know we're kind of, I don't want to keep you on too long and everything, but I have a few more questions, and then I want to open it up to some in the chat that I see there. So I want to make sure I leave time for those as well. But I do have one thing. I just want to dig a little deeper into the commercialization side, because I know you said working with the Euro, you worked with some really big companies in that there. And I just want to know, I happen to have a little bit of an idea of what commercialization would look like. What I want to know is, after you have secured those sponsorships to have those relationships with the JFF, will you guys be involved in the activation process at all, or is it just something where you're just trying to find partners for the JFF for them then to work with?
No, it is what I like about this relationship, to be honest, and it's something that we worked on for a long time. People can check. We did photo shoots for the JFF a few months ago before this relationship started. We've been creating and posting content, which the JFF has been pleased with and has been using for at least 18 months. So there's been a long relationship in discussing what is needed, where it should go, etc. They had their own challenges internal as well, which we said we can provide some opportunities and solutions for that. So this relationship is not just about, it's not transactional in that sense.
Okay.
We are going to be a part of all of the, especially in Jamaica itself, all of the activations that you'll be see coming out.
Got
So
you.
it is commercial and marketing, which is tied in together. And that is important because when you're going to sponsors or supporters, you have to pitch some concepts, some ideas. You also have to be able to ensure that these things can be delivered.
Implemented,
And I
yeah.
think that is the key part that sponsors are always concerned about in our Jamaican space. Can you deliver at the level that you have said? This look nice, this deck look nice. Can you deliver on that at the level you said? And can I get the level of reporting on those things and proof that I have seen value in this? And how does this connect back to my objectives, which is different per company? So you have to be on the both sides to really make it work the best way.
Got you. Got you. Understood. Understood. Well, what I can say from what I've seen, I don't know, many of the things that you guys have, your hands in besides what I've seen most recently, which was the JPL playoffs. And I must say that the turnout at the quarterfinals, semifinals, and finals was very promising. Now, one thing I will say as well, Rashid, you guys might have upped the stakes a bit for this next game on June 6th, because I can assure you that a lot of the fan base are
Yes.
expecting, well, if these guys did this for the JPL, now we have the Reggae Boyz, like, come on, we have to have the stadium even more full. So, look, I understand that you guys, I'm sure, I understand timelines, and I know when the partnership was formed and when the game was coming up. You guys
Yes.
are already behind the 8 ball,
I'm
right?
glad you mentioned that. Yes.
And I know that the JPL is a 2-year thing in the
Yeah.
making to get to this, what we saw at the super final. So
Yes.
just speak to that a bit so that the fans can kind of understand, look, yes, while we had a hand in this, what we perceive to be greatness that the JPL was able to achieve, this was a long time in the making. So how how can you speak to fans that might have that mindset going into this game, that they're expecting something now that we saw what was achieved with the JPL final?
All right, answer it two ways because the first question you said was, what else were we involved in? And I just wanted to share a little bit because I think it is important. It's a question people have been asking. So the JPL is the most direct example, but through whether that be Stream or the previous marketing company that Stream evolves out of, we've been in the space for close to 12 years. So working with a lot of brands who are pretty much the household names. And if we think about it from a specific Stream point of view, we've been doing work for Netball Jamaica. So the last World Championships, everything digital was us. Champs, we did what's called a multi approach. So quite a bit of the content you'd have seen on most of the brands coming out of Champs, we were behind the scenes on that. So, and we've been doing that for a number of years now. So there's been a lot of things. We would have covered the Gold Cup last summer. We get knocked out in semi. Yeah. So, we've been involved, like I said, for quite some time on many different levels. And then the persons who are involved in the company as well have bring their own experience also to the space. So there's that. In terms of the game coming up, the comparison between the JPL, I tell you what, it's a nice challenge to have. Because I tell you something, a year ago, nobody would even mention that. To think about JPL as a standard bearer for football in the country. So that means that the team has worked well. The PFJL has done a lot of work as well. We've worked hand in hand with them to try to develop this feeling again for sports. And a big part of it is to confirm in our minds that sport is it's entertainment. It's an entertainment product. There is the players on the field and they are a part of that, but the entire experience from you reach to wherever a venue is until the moment you leave is an entire entertainment package because you compete in a consumer's mind against the Suns and the Dream Weekends and the Reggae Sumfest. That is the bracket that we play in. It's another form of entertainment. And other elements of that as well too. So in terms of the campaign here, you will see things develop over the next 2 years going into the World Cup. What will happen on June 6th? The first thing is, that's why we're having this conversation. We want to start from the ground up. We're going into communities. to say, listen, the difference in the JPL is that this is a club-based situation. So, if you're supporting a club, then you're behind it. And then maybe you're going just from the basic of I'm a social viewer. I want to go because it's finals and them some music and it's nice and it's stadium.
Yeah, well, it's when everyone in the community is going somewhere, more than
Yeah,
likely you're gonna
yeah.
go with the
But
community
the
where they're going.
connection I'm making is finals was Mount Pleasant versus Cavaliers.
Mm-hmm.
Mount Pleasant is from St. Anne's.
Mm-hmm.
They came in about 20 bus load. Them have them support. Cavaliers, have them their support as well too, but they're not, it's not even a community per se, it's a club that was developed. So you realize that you brought the product to a level where the average man, like my young brother who is there, who doesn't support any particular team in JPL, went because he was looking for that entertainment and stuff. With the national team, it's different. The national team, all of us have a reason to get behind it. We are Jamaican and we love that. And we love, even if you don't like football, to go and show your pride against the team that we're playing against and to support. The starting point is already further on than a JPL. Now, we have to now develop that relationship with the people again. One of the things we said to JFF is we have to, get the buy-in again from the community. We have to go out there and let the people fall in love with the national team again. And that's very important. So you'll be seeing some things coming up in the coming weeks. Hopefully for those who, if they're your followers on the channel, if they're in Jamaica at the moment, the streets should be plastered with billboards and stuff right now. There's a lot of creative work we're doing around ticketing as well, which is to try to get us that, different persons, students, supporters, footballers and stuff to be able to get opportunities to come into the stadium. We have a lot of plans in terms of entertainment as well. That's still being finalized, but when you think about it from a campaign point of view, the plans that we have are high level. This first game, we surely will have some pre-game entertainment. The match is at 6:30. We want people to come out from 5, come hold a vibe, enjoy yourself. And a big part of that is the fans themselves. We need the support from the people. The team needs the support. I wouldn't even say 876 Stream or JFF in that sense. The team, the players out there, the Nanas and the Blakeys and the Maris, they need our support. A lot of us haven't seen these players play on home soil, and they have never seen a full stadium.
Absolutely.
So, they don't understand what it's like when the affix is buzzing. We want to show them that.
Absolutely, absolutely. And us, the wiser ones, we have seen it and we know it's possible. And we know the impact it can play. So yeah, I long for the days when we can get back to that. But I think just to final thing before I go to the comments, because I see people have a lot of thoughts in there, and I want to thank everyone in the building. We have 89 in the chat right now. Make sure you're smashing the like button. Rashid, you have brought out the people, brother. So something you're doing must be working, because the channel, it will keep on getting viewers coming to watch. So but just to touch on what you said there just now, I have noticed, a lot of the print media stuff. I have seen the QR codes on the light posts. I've seen the physical sign holders. I've seen all of those things. One thing that I've heard though, and I'm not there, but I, like you, I'm still in tune. So one of the major things I've heard is maybe we have dropped the ball a bit on the print media side and even the traditional media side, whether it's TVJ, Sportsmax, CVM. Is that something that we can see as we get closer to game time, or is that just something that maybe Stream decided for this go around we're not going to have that big a push in those areas?
No, never that, to be honest. We definitely, whatever can be done, we definitely want to do. What you'll find is that some relationships and some negotiations will take longer than others. For us to be able to, in a short time, get into the streets, have billboards, etc., that's an easier approval than a contract with radio stations or the television stations. Now, you want to ensure, again, we come back to the professionalism of the sport. We're not just saying, okay, just take that because you are that person. We have to get into the nitty-gritty of what is the contractual agreements, etc. What is the benefit for you, what's the benefit for me, and ensure that those things are clear. So that will take a little bit more time. But today is Wednesday. If it hasn't started yet, I think as of tomorrow, they will, and quite a few stations, they'll hear lots of ads. And we're hoping to be able to get things in place so that the diaspora, like yourself, like me, can actually get to be able to see the game. So I will be able to share a little bit more about that early next week, but that is a big goal. That is a big goal. And if we get that one across the line in time for June, I think that's a huge improvement on the last, compared to where home games were in the last couple of years.
Well, Rashid, you just left the door open there. We have to coordinate a time closer to the game, so maybe we do a return and
Yeah,
we follow up a little bit, because at the end of the day, this, like I said, this is just really, I think, helpful to the fan base, because if it's one thing Jamaican fans do when it comes down to the Reggae Boys, Reggae Girls, and all their teams, they worry a lot, right? So the more we can just give them the information
yeah,
to kind of ease the worry, ease the stress, and let them know, yes, things are being done.
yeah.
Because as you said, I can't see everything, you can't see everything, the fans in the chat can't see everything. But if we're letting you know what's being done, maybe you'll know that it is going on. So
I would say as well, Jason, just before you go to the chat, I see quite a few questions. I'm happy to take a couple of them as well. And the comments, those who are supportive, we give a lot of thanks for that. We're trying to do a multifaceted approach. So we talk about starting in the communities, something as simple as town criers in communities is still something that works in certain spaces. We talk about billboards, we talk about signage, talk about digital signage. We have partnerships with Visual Vibes and iMedia. But we talk about flyers in stadium. We talk about going to parties and issuing flyers, literally doing what we call touching the road to promote the game. But at the same time, I think one of the greatest things that we created is the concept of this unification of Jamaican vlogger support, which you're aware of. I think this is the first time that there's been an official reach out to say you guys are a key element of spreading the message around. If we want to give you information first, we want to make sure you know what's going on. We're willing to do interviews. As you know, the other persons in the team do interviews as well.
Sure.
And I think that's another element, So it's about also being creative. That's something I wasn't thought of before. Then there's the traditional media, as we're saying, newspaper, TV, radio that's coming into play. And there's, of course, the general digital media. You will see some influencer stuff next week. Also, there's some big announcements coming for the team on match day as well. But a lot of things in the pipeline.
All right, so we have a lot to look forward to. All right, so look, I know the time is running here. We're having great conversation. You know what happens when you're having good talk. Normally, you lose track of time. So I know we had a little time constraint, so I want to be mindful of that. So I just want to go to the chat. I'm just going to take a few of them, and you can answer them as best as you can. I'm going to be a little partial here. There's one gentleman in the chat that is our namesake as well, and that's my father, Mr. Michael Hall. He says, "Good evening, Rashid. What is the explanation for the dated content on the stream website, as well as the small amount of subscribers to your YouTube channel?" So in true Michael Hall fashion there, coming with a hard-hitting question. So Rashid, what do you have to say to this one?
That's my uncle already pressured me from the start. No problem. No, the honest answer to that, and I like to be very transparent, is two things. For the YouTube channel, we did not, as a company at the time, we did not have a specific strategic approach to YouTube. That's something that we're working on inside the scenes. We have it's written out already, but we have not activated that yet. So we anticipate that to change a little bit. There's a partnership that we have coming with someone who is specialized in that area, who's going to join the team as well. And that will be their responsibility on the production side where YouTube is concerned. But the strategic movement around what will go on the channel, what kind of stuff we want to show, that's already written out. But we sort of pause a little bit because we wanted to ensure that when we restart it, we do that at a level that we think makes sense. In terms of the website is under redevelopment. So the one that is visible now to the one that's available now will be very different in a couple months as well.
Okay, cool. And he had a follow-up question. Can you share any specifics around the elements for the game on June the 6th?
When you said elements, what specifically do you refer to?
That's a good question. I would think maybe the entertainment wise, any fan zone booths, things typical that you would see maybe at the UEFA Euro 2020, some things of that nature. That's probably what he's referring to.
I would say, again, early next week we could have a more detailed conversation. But what I can definitely say is that there will be pre-game entertainment. So we're looking at DJs to be in the space and kind of creating that energy from early. We're looking at a vibe section in the bleachers. That's something that we definitely want to try to achieve. So to really have a high energy section of the bleachers that is there cheering on the fans, and we want a lot of persons to come out and be a part of that as well. We have some conversations around halftime show. You saw what happened in JPL. We want to celebrate. We will see, but we've actually been in the market. What's nice about the national team is that people are willing to support. So it's about finding the right person at the right time and ensuring that that is secure. So the overall goal is to ensure that it is an entertaining experience for fans. I'm sure we'll have some learnings from the first game and how quickly that's come around based on what we signed. But as you may also know, we have 3 games in 3 months between September and November.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really looking forward to that summertime to go back to the drawing board after June 6th and put some things in place. We have Cup which we have to go to, but that's not our tournament to be able to host. And to come back even at a higher level September, October, November. And that consistency is something that sponsors are very eager to be a part of. That's the one thing we haven't even touched. One of the biggest objectives we want to have is to sort of improve the mindset of sponsors in relation to the federation. So we want to ensure that sponsors feel like they're getting their due from what is being offered. And that I would say is one of our top 3 objectives. So if I was to list top 3, it is about sponsor appreciation, sponsor recognition to ensure that they are really feeling valued for what they're getting a part of. 2 is the energy inside the stadium, generally speaking, through many different things that's happening. And 3 is to just have the turnout itself. I would say that our goal for this first game is 20,000. We want to get to that 20,000 mark. I know that if we kick off with that, we can continue from there on.
All right, sounds good. Sounds good. Well, I have some fellow stream and content creators in the building. So one of them is Sports Prophecy TV, and he had this comment: Sports 876 stream is under the microscope for this game. I will calculate how much people 876 stream bring into the stadium because the different fan clubs are giving away over 1,000 tickets. Now, he touched on something there. There have been a groundswell of supporters clubs and community clubs and fan clubs and everything. Have you guys been able to communicate with all the various fan clubs, or how has that been? Has there been any communication between those parties?
We've been in contact. I just alluded to that a little bit about that vibe section and about wanting to fill the stadium.
Mm-hmm.
This first game is very important. It's very important from the long term. What you want to show with this first game is almost like a proof of concept, especially for the commercial persons that are looking on. So maybe everything is not to the level that we will know it will be across the campaign, but you want to already test out some stuff. You want to ensure that people see where you're trying to go and people come into that stadium and say, all right, yeah, man, this feel like the office again. Let me call you next week about, a relationship with this campaign or this program. So our goal, that's a big part, I said, that's our top 3. Trying to get as much person in the stadium as possible. We're doing that through many different ways. We're doing ticketing strategy. We're doing relationships. We're doing, one of the things that we're trying to do is also ensure that those who are in the sporting industry, especially the football industry, are there. So we're in contact with all the football clubs, Major League, CASAFA, to say, be involved, special relationship, special opportunity, etc. We want them to be there. They are the core of the football space.
Absolutely. Just looking through here again, I saw a few others I wanted to definitely. Yes, this is one. I've heard this as a pushback in the past when fans have mentioned this to the JFF. How do you guys plan on working around the constraints that FIFA places on these games, especially with the television coverage and all these things? I heard you mention pre-game. Was that done on purpose? Is it that window of time from warm up to the end of the game is just a no-go? Or, what can you tell us about that?
No, it's always just a little bit more challenging. It's a short window, 15 minutes at a time when players are able to warm up on the field, at a time when you have to swing back to the pitch view. So it's a little bit of a short window. It's something that we're working through to see what's possible. There will definitely be entertainment at halftime. It won't be dead. Now, but we have to figure out what is the best energy for that time. What I like about the pregame is that you have a bit more space and window to be able to really put on a performance if you really get to that level. And that can even be part of why people are coming to the game. So it's part of the marketing strategy before a match. You know that X person or X thing is happening. And that's a big part of why you're going to the game. Again, coming back to the entertainment window is not when the match starts. The entertainment window for me is at least about 90 minutes before the game to at least about 45 minutes after. What is the experience during that entire 5-hour period? or
Absolutely.
4.5 hours. Yeah.
Absolutely. I remember the story you gave. I mean, even though I wasn't coming all the way from Montego Bay, I used to go to games at least 2 hours before the game, get in
Yeah,
my
man,
seat,
so what? Well, I was in maybe you're in
listen to the
Canada. I was in
vibes.
Beach. So
Yeah,
that,
listen to the vibes. Yeah, you were getting baked. I was lucky enough to be on the other side, respect
yeah.
for my father getting some tickets over that side. So yeah, but I remember those days. I remember it being a whole day thing. I mean, from I wake up in the morning, I have my jersey on, and I'm like, when we leaving, when we leaving. So I wanted to get back to that. And I think those are the experiences that I think a whole generation might have even missed out on. You know what I mean? Because when you were describing going to the game, being there early, being with your mother, that's exactly what I would describe. It was like going with my father and my mother to the game. So,
Yeah.
I hate that there has been a large group of Jamaicans probably that just haven't experienced that, because it was a big part of my childhood. Excuse me.
And I would say to you, it's not because we got to the World Cup, because the games that we're talking about was leading up to
Before,
the World Cup.
absolutely.
So it's not about the fact that, yes, eventually, and the two things go hand in hand almost, I would say, because the fact that the team and the country got behind these guys so much was a big part of why we got to the World Cup. But from 8 games out, when we were still not really sure, we were there. So it's one of those things where, you have to get the buy-in. Again, that's why the campaign is Jamaica Land We Love. People need to fall in love with the team again. People need to know who the coach are, who's the players, who are the coaches. And just remember, if you look at some of the content we're pushing out recently, and a lot of it will come after the Copa, when we have that lull period between that and the game in September. But we're doing a lot of nostalgia as well too. We're giving us some other video clips, and it's not easy to find because not everything was put in the right place. But we're giving you all of those things to kind of remember. Remember why we are doing this. Remember this experience. Remember this moment. Where were you when that happened? And we're trying to not only be 98 focused, because we understand that a lot of young persons weren't around or can't remember it. But there have been lots of great moments. I mean, 2015 or 2016, thereabouts, we went to finals in Gold Cup. We went to semifinals in Gold Cup. Kemar Lions scored a free kick. We knock out USA.
Mm-hmm,
This was a
mm-hmm.
great moment. We have to
I was
remember
in
those.
the, I was in the dome in Georgia when we beat USA in the semifinal. I think Giles Bond scored a free kick, and I forget who the second goal was, but I was there, so I remember that too. So yeah, a lot of great moments apart from '98, and it is a slippery slope when you start to just tie everything to '98, because football has moved a long way since then, and I won't get into that part of it, but
when we talk about
it's a
98,
tough thing to talk about because we don't want to think that that's the only way. You know what I mean? That's at least that's how I see it.
Just to be clear, when we talk about that, what we talk about is the feeling.
Right.
What we talk about is the energy. Right. The entire sport has changed so much since then. But what can be brought back is that love and feeling and being involved, and just that experience and that kind of energetic energy in the stadium. And that's what we're trying to go for. We use that because that was a moment that organically, as almost the best in practice that we know of. We're kind of young too as well. So maybe there was something in the 80s that we don't know of. But that's the one in our minds.
I'm sure my father will tell me, his day was the day, right? When Skill Cole played Santos in the 70s. That was the so everybody will have their own time that they think is near and dear to them. I did want to look at this comment as well. So there was a conversation in the group chat with the 876 stream guys and some of the content creators, and a question was asked about the utilization of data in guiding the marketing campaign. So can you touch a little bit on that? What kind of data do you guys look at to try to design your marketing strategies?
Well, the good thing I would say is that this is not something that we're new to. We've been doing sports generally, but football, digital promotion for a long time. So we have gotten our licks. We try, the last World Cup campaign, we interviewed Paul Hall, Dion Burton, BB. We went through the entire, and we realized, okay, we have to do some things a little bit. Just seeing that alone for some people doesn't resonate. So we're using data analytically. Obviously, if we talk about digital marketing, obviously the data is accessible through the platforms themselves and the reports they get. But we're also using data from our own experience. We're using data from what we know. We're using data from information that we're speaking to persons in the diaspora. We have, photographers in the US who work for us, for example, who are saying to us, we have to get, and they have their own creative stuff on that side. We're learning from those guys as well too. So the word data is kind of vague, but we are definitely not just winging this. We're using previous experience. We're researching stuff every day. We are using partnerships with persons in the industry as well to ensure that we put the best foot forward. This is a very, very important project for me. We're doing other stuff and there's other things to be announced soon, but this project is very important because of the nation building aspect of it. It is bigger than just the football. And so it's something that we want to try to get as right as possible.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, look, Rasheed, I don't want to hold you up. We're coming up to the hour mark. I think that was a very, very informative talk, and I hope you enjoyed your time on the platform. And of course, you are always welcome here if the time permits. Of course, we're on different time zones, so
yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Work to get this going. But I did hear you kind of leave the door open a few times because you have some things coming up, and you maybe can't speak too much about them yet. So if time permits, we'll try to get you back on before the actual game day and see how those plans actually came to fruition as we lead into the final things. Again, people, Rasheed Hall, drop your comments if you want him to see anything before we close off this interview. But I just want to thank you.
What we can do, Jason, I just came to my mind because unfortunately, well, I shouldn't say unfortunately, but my younger daughter's birthday is on the 7th, so I won't be going for the game because for me, family is the most important thing first.
Here.
So I will be here. So we can do our interview on game day, maybe 3 hours beforehand. And at that time, everything can be spoken of because the match should be in a few hours.
I would love that. I'm planning on live streaming during the match. So giving those who can't watch the game, give them a sounding board that they can see.
Don't look to come off for you, Jason. Don't look to come for you.
Yeah, look, it's a funny thing. When I started this content, I was always someone who has a strong opinion, we'll say, about everything. And people were always telling me, if you get into this and you start doing these things, are we going to still see the real Jason? But I can assure you people, when I was a young man supporting Jamaica to the fullest, I also had a very loud voice, whether it was for good or for bad. Anybody that sat around me in the stadium can know. And I'm not going to change who I am. But at the end of the day, it's all because I want to see this place right here on my shirt go further. And sometimes tough love is what's going to get you there. So I'm not going to lie and sugarcoat things. I'm sorry.
Not for me, and certainly for me and our approach is that we come to the table. At the end of the day, we're trying to achieve the same thing. We're trying to achieve the best for Jamaican football. We're open to ideas. I will never say that we know everything. Yes, worked on high-level tournaments. Yes, Champions League, etc. But everything is specific. Our culture is very unique. So happy to have the conversation at any point in time. And if you see us going wrong somewhere, please feel free to drop a message. Or if you see ideas that you think we can utilize, which we're not doing, let's have the conversation.
Yeah, man. So people, big up and respect Rasheed at any given time, brother. You can exit the stream. I'm probably gonna close it off with the fans just for a few more minutes, but I just want to big you up again and say respect and happy birthday to your daughter when it comes. Absolutely.
Give thanks, and thank you for the support. This is something we want to continue throughout the campaign, so we can think about how we keep a little consistency on that, so that your fans also are able to get insight and be aware of what's happening, a little bit of behind the scenes stuff. It's not something a stop start.
Absolutely. Sounds good, Rasheed, and enjoy the rest of the evening.
Let's come out and support. Let's support physically for those who are there, but for those of us who are overseas as well, let's support in other ways. Let's join on to some lives. Let's make sure so we're in the comments, we're sharing whatever feeds, etc., so that the boys really have our strength behind them.
Yeah, man. All right. Respect again, Rasheed, and all the best. All right, bro.
No problem.
Yeah, man. So everyone, that was Rasheed Hall, 876 Stream Director, one of the shareholders with the company as well. Able to give us a little more insight of his role with the company, how he came about getting with them, and very, very sharp individual, as you could hear. Definitely brings a bag of experience where it's concerned with dealing with bigger companies and big marketing sponsorships and campaigns. So definitely one that is a big asset to the company, 876 Stream. We'll see people. We definitely, they're on the clock at this point, and I seen, just looking through the comment section here, a lot of people will be looking at what they can bring to the table, and we're going to hold them accountable, people. But the good thing is they don't seem to be afraid of the backlash and the comments and the conversation. So that can only mean that we can get better moving forward. So yeah, I just want to apologize to the chat. I haven't been able to really get through the chat as much as I normally would, and that's mainly because I wanted the interview and the conversation to flow. So hopefully you guys forgive me for that. I'm seeing some people mention that, yeah, it was a good interview and I might have a knack for these things. So I guess some of you guys appreciated that. So, but what I want to do is show a little bit of love to the comment section and just see, I see some conversations going on there. Just my takeaways from talking with him, the slogan. How do we feel about the slogan, people? Jamaica land we love. Me personally, while I hear the concerns, some saying, boy, that's a bit outdated, and is that gonna connect with the youth base and everything? I'm okay with the Jamaica land we love personally, because you want to have something all encompassing that everybody can relate to. When you try to do it too age specific, you might miss out certain people. But Jamaica land we love, everybody knows what that is. So I am okay with that. I don't, as Ballheads TV says, the slogan is meh. I understand that sentiment, but look, I don't know. Maybe it could have been something geared more towards the actual goal of the campaign, which is to get to the World Cup. So I understand that, but I think the Jamaica land we love is all encompassing. I'm not so upset with that. I understand others that might think differently. Though Claudia Fletcher says, great interview. My respects, Miss Claudia. I thank you, and I'm glad you enjoyed it. Ty said he loved the show. And people, listen, if you are new to the channel, because I am seeing some people that I've never seen before, get a 455. Please think about subscribing to the channel so we can let it keep growing, people. And if you like the content, you can always drop a super chat. It's very easy. You hit I think it's a dollar symbol, and you go ahead and type something, and yes, it will be highlighted on the screen, and it will help to support the channel. So yeah, nothing wrong with that as well. But people, it has been what, an hour. I wasn't really planning on making any additions to this video. I wanted to just stand alone as the interview itself, so I don't want to cloud up the content with too much other things. But I just want to thank every single person that did take their time out to view this video today. I see right now we have 103 in the chat, so very, very thankful for taking the time in your busy day to hear some conversation as it relates to the marketing and the marketing team and the JFF Reggae Boyz and this road to the World Cup campaign that we're about to embark on coming up in 8 days here. Remember, go to the JFF website, people. Buy some tickets. Send your all-age school. Send your old teacher class to the game. You get a 10% discount if you put in the promo code Jason Guna TV. So utilize that, people. Any little savings will help, especially if you're buying in bulk. So go ahead and do that, right? Yeah, man, it's all inclusive, and it should be. You know what I'm saying? It's all inclusive, and that's, to me, that's what makes a good slogan. Maybe some people might not think it's catchy enough or whatever it is, but I think it's a nice blanket thing that everyone can relate to that is a Jamaica fan. So I'm cool with it personally. Could the slogan be Reggae Boyz Team We Love or Jamaica Team We Love? Well, it could be, but I think the correlation of the Jamaica land we love to the anthem is what kind of ties it all in. But yeah, could be. Demo saying he loves it. Big up Demo. I know Demo is I saw Demo sent a message with his care package, so he has all his flags ready to go for him and his entire community. So Demo is definitely being about it and not just talking. So big up yourself, Demo. Definitely trying to become a true, well, not become, but definitely one of the biggest fans I know of the Jamaicans. Enjoy the content. Big up yourself. Yeah, man, Jampiel. Respect for being here. One of the people that always show the channel love. So we're very grateful. Jampiel also has his own channel, people. So check him out if you want the latest of the Jamaica Premier League and all the Jamaican local football club news. Also cover the championship the other day, Major League and everything. So definitely, if you want to stay in tune with that stuff, you must definitely give his channel a look. Kevin, I missed the big news. Well, Kevin, the good thing is it is recorded in the YouTube space. So as soon as I end the stream and it processes, you will be able to watch the whole thing. And of course, if you have any thoughts, leave them in the comment section. I will have a running dialogue with Rasheed, who I interviewed today, so I can always get the questions to him, and I'll bring the answers back to you on my next program. They say believe no man is all inclusive. A true still, you know. And yeah, he is aware of the songs, people. I have sent him any song that I have. So yeah. We say look out for 20 buses from Demoville. Yeah, Demo, the way how you're talking, I better see you with about at least 30 to 50 people, Demo. Sports Prophecy TV say I'm not sure if the folks will come to his channel. You know, he might be a bit, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, man, daddy are dead with laugh. So yes, people, I want to say again, maximum respect, guys. You guys really showed me some love today, made it engaging and fun, and made the interview flow. And I really appreciate all the questions you dropped in the comment section. Again, anything that I missed over, I apologize. As I said, this is my first ever interview on this platform. So, of course, everything will improve with time. But anything that I didn't get to, believe me, it was not on purpose. I just wanted to go ahead and get the information out to the people as best that I saw fit. And I tried to leave some time for the comments afterwards. But again, if I missed anything you said, I will be scouring back through the live chat and I will try to get those questions to him off the air. And I will bring the answers back to the people. Okay. So once again, people, I just want to say big up and respect. People still dropping some thoughts. Totally agree. I like Ryan's slogan, believe no man is more exciting. Yeah, and that's the thing, James. We as content creators, we, even though 876 stream has this Jamaica Land We Love stream that's gonna be plastered on all their print, we still can do our job as marketers ourselves. So if the believe no man is what takes a hold of the YouTube community, we can all hashtag believe no man in our posts. You know what I'm saying? And even when it's their post and they have the Jamaica Land We Love, we can put the believe no man in it. So it can all be encompassing and all encompassing and all inclusive. So I don't think because Jamaica Land We Love is what 876 stream decided to go with means we can't say believe no man as well. Because, the more the merrier, people. Yeah, man, Elite Sports TV. Everybody's supposed to know Elite Sports TV. So if you don't though, check him out. Definitely one of the ones always doing the content. Reggae Boyz, Reggae Girls, nighttime show. Yeah, man, definitely one you should check out as well. Rasta Gale said, Jason, great interview for real. Manners and respect, Rasta Gale. We believe in one Jamaica. That is it, Chemo. That is it, Chemo. Drink Studios, JA. Respect for all the behind the scenes work you guys are doing as well. If you don't know people, Drink Studios, JA, YouTube, Instagram, definitely putting in the work behind the scenes with a lot of the things that you see coming out as far as some of the posts that you've been seeing from some of the content creators. Definitely has a hand in a lot of those things. So yeah, man. We and there's another one, believe no man, we believe in one Jamaica. All these hashtags can grow. How can a slogan in 2024 be Jamaica Land We Love? That is so vintage and lack effort. Boy, Sports Prophecy, to each his own, man. There are people that heard it in this chat section today that didn't have a problem with it. Some said it was meh. You seem to be on the total opposite side there, saying, boy, you just don't understand why this was it. But it is what it is, man. That's what they have gone with. And like I said before, you don't have to necessarily get all the way behind this one. We can still believe in a man. We believe in one Jamaica, whatever it is. Here's another perspective from Peter Mystic. Land We Love will also provoke heartwarming thoughts of the overseas born players, especially those playing for the first time. Very nice and simple. So there's another angle to look at it from. I think I'm assuming JT Sports Prophecy that you're kind of worried that it won't connect as much with a younger demographic. I'm getting that sense because I don't know how old Peter Mystic is, but based on I've heard him talk on some programs before, and I'm thinking he has some experience in his life as well. Him and my father seem to be okay with it. They're from an older demographic, so that could be something that to note there. Believe no man has no thought and isn't inclusive. Okay, so Drew has his thoughts about that. Dre, anyway, that's a love this growth. Yeah, man, Dre, respect, man. It's just trying a thing, brother. Just putting in the work and staying grounded and staying true to myself, and we'll see where that gets us, you know. Everybody know Dre Anywhere Sports, the breaking news boss. Check out his content as well. He's everywhere, people. Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, everywhere. Yeah, man. Big up everybody making an impact or trying at least to make one. Yeah, man. We say Ernest Murray find the compromise. It should be Jamaica land we love. Believe, no man. Yeah, man. We could use Rise Up and the song again for marketing. Keep rickets and bad memories behind the scenes. All right, first responder. Rise Up is a big tune still, you know. For real, you know. I've yet to heard someone say something positive about it. Dwell on negative and not bring nothing to the table. Yeah, look, some people I don't know if they don't bring anything to the table, but they're gonna let it be heard that they don't agree with things. But I think I don't see anything really wrong with that, Juras. I mean, I understand maybe there's a time and place and everything, but what better time than when the guy is actually here to give him your thoughts and let him see them, But how you go about it, I guess, can be done a certain way. Yeah, Drew Russ. I mean, I don't know if you and I are in the same age category. I would think so, based on the families we have and whatever. But I'm okay with it. I'm not blown away by it, but I'm fine with it. I don't think it's a bad slogan. My slogan is Reggae Football One Jamaica because of everything that ties into it, such as overseas players that played for us. Okay, yeah, One Jamaica makes a lot of sense because people are coming from everywhere. Yeah, I would assume so, Peter Mystic. I would assume so. Anita Bell likes the One Jamaica as well. It is nostalgic for the diaspora, especially. Could be. Everything working. One Jamaica. Big up yourself, Caris. Up, bro, on the job in capital of casual negril. All right, Peso. Working hard or hardly working. Make we know how I go about it. I try to take a measured approach at most of the time. I try to take a measured approach. That's my goal, really. Try not to react too hastily. Try to process the information and then give my point or my take on it. Not blow see their thought. Yeah. Will the JFF have a style with memorabilia? First responder, that's a good question. I will follow up with that. He did promise us match day. We're gonna be doing a lead-in stream before I go live with the post-match. So in that installment, I will definitely have some questions for him, and that will be one of them. Will there be a style set up with memorabilia? Yeah, that is something that I think we need to capitalize on for sure. If we have 20,000 fans, as is the goal, you want to be able to direct those fans to purchase something from the JFF, whether it's a jersey, a socks, a flag, a cap, a mug, anything, anything, because that would be a time when people would most likely want to purchase when they're going into an event for that team. So memorabilia on site is a key thing. So I'm going to ask about that for sure. Thanks for that question, first responder. Bro, I won't connect and they're not looking at trends. Look at some of the Euro 2024 campaign. The catchphrases are short and effective. Example, Nike, just do it. Adidas, who is our sponsor. Simon Preston. Welcome, Simon. Welcome. I know you probably didn't get a chance to watch the stream, but it definitely will be up. You should definitely take a look and see how it went. But Simon says Shaquan Davis and Greg Lee were on Sportsmax recently, Kaheem Dixon today, and boys have been on radio as well. So there has been coverage on mainstream platforms. Okay, so Simon letting you know that they are putting in some work on the mainstream side of things. Ty, respect, my brother. A $10 super chat. Massive respect, brother. He says, I love it and I am young. All right. So It is not demographic specific. Some actually do love it. Not blown away, but I understand their thought process. Yeah. I'm similar to that, Drew Russ. I'm not gonna say it's just downright terrible, and I'm not gonna say it's the greatest thing in the world. But when he explained the reason for it, I understood the thought process. Yes, I agree there. We agree on this one, Drew Russ, for sure. These guys will kill with talk and no action. Talk has been selling for the same price from the 40s. Cheap. Big up yourself, Mr. United. Look, if these comments are directed squarely at JT, I don't think that's true that he doesn't do anything and no action. As a matter of fact, he's probably the most active creator in the chat with ideas. So I think he does have ideas and he wants to see some ideas implemented. And he's a harsh critic. That's just the bottom line. But not everyone is gonna go about things the same way. So I understand. I mean, I'm not gonna kill him for his ways. That's him, and at least you can say he's the same way all the time. So you know what you're gonna get, and I appreciate that. Bless up, Father Bling. Respect, Juras. Thank you. Thank you for the first super chat on the channel. Really, really do appreciate it, Drew. Really do. Oh Lord. Professional pro clubs beat everything. Not going to the ballers. LOL. Yeah. That is something that the JFF have to deal with, Players haven't really been getting what they said they would give them. I wonder if that will change anytime soon. I'm just here to make some of my enemies lose sleep. And I got a new apartment. By the way, I'm living in their heads rent-free on both tenants and landlord. All right, boss. Cranky and I are from the same era. I'm not sure how old your dad is, so I don't want to do myself a disfavor. Well, look, I don't think, I don't know, because Cranky just retire. So unless he didn't retire at retirement age, he might be pretty darn close to my father's age, So I don't know Peter Mystic, but we'll keep that. We'll be discreet with the ages. As I told Rashid, we're all, you're just a bit wiser than I am. That's all. Some of them get up every day and cuss JFF, and if I ask them now do a thing. Okay, so Mr. United said no one in particular, just naysayers in general. All right, my boss. I think they could have run a poll or survey to see what they got the most traction and then go by it. That's a good idea, Kevin. Try to gauge the ideas of the people to try to appease the most people, right? But then it comes down to who sees the poll. The people that didn't participate in the poll, they said, "Boy, if I did see the poll, I wouldn't pick that." So sometimes you have to just trust your gut and go with your instincts and see how it plays out. I had my 98 football with all the maps until it dry rat and my wife dashed it away. Oh my gosh. You could have maybe built it back, brother. The ball there was a real collector's item. I did? Which super chat, my miss? I'm not seeing any more super chats. Let me see. No, I did both. I wish you were right, though, so I could say a next one. But yeah, people, it looks like this one is gonna come to an end now. As I said, I don't want it to be something that people are trying to find the interview portion of this. I don't want this to stretch too long. Oh, I did miss one. Respect, Demo. Kevin One Vibes. Respect, bro, for the super chat. Really, really appreciate it, people. Grateful, and very thankful. But yeah, this is where's the Gunners boss? Him oya fee. Man, take one of you drop the mic, line them. Respect. At the first time I find we Gunners boss, bless up, Yeah, man, we are run out, man. From Gunners boss, find me. Say the thing out there, because Gunners boss really catch everything out there. So yeah, Gunners boss, big up yourself. No calling for your call. I wait till the channel grows some more, and then we'll implement some calling. I know Demo won't like to hear that he want the calling now, but we'll soon drop the calling segment, people. For now, just gonna be myself, and if I have guests, I'll definitely open the stream yard and you can join that way to give your thoughts. All right, but I will let this comment be the last thing I read out, since it's the last one on the screen right now. It's from Simon. It says this: I know everyone will have 100 ideas, which is fine. We are all passionate about this project, but it's a process, and we must not forget we have at least 2 more home games in 2024 and potentially 1 more after that. No, man, you're not getting a cussing, man. Demo, I appreciate your presence on the stream, bro. You keep the conversation going. And yeah, man, I'm always grateful and thankful for anybody who takes their time to view the content. So you won't get no cussing from me on this end, my brother. All right, so yeah, man, that is it, people. We're out of the building. I want to thank each and everyone that joined this stream. If you're happening to watch this on the replay, you can do the same things that those did while they were here. You can like the video, you can share the content, and if you're new, think about subscribing to the channel as well. Big 8 days coming up, people, and Jason Guna TV and all the rest of my content creator friends will be here for it, and I'm sure you'll be seeing content left, right, and center. Be sure to turn on the notification bells to know when Jason Guna TV is live. We have some more streams in the work coming up. Any day now, we're going to get the squad, so we're going to do a great show as it relates to that. Anyone that didn't get a chance to see my Reggae Girls video last night, it is now posted in the channel. Definitely take a look at that, where I did a little bit of a try to look at how the girls fared in their club seasons, in their seasons in college where they're playing. So that was a very informative video if you need some more insight into the Jamaica Reggae Girls team that is due to play Brazil in 2 friendlies on Saturday and Tuesday coming up. So yeah, people, that's it from me, Jason Guna TV. We're out of here. And Jamaica land we love, as we found out today. One Jamaica. Believe, no, man. I don't care what slogan you want to use, as long as it means you're headed on June 6th to the National Stadium. And if you're not headed there, go to the JFF website, click buy tickets, put in the promo code Jason Guna TV, and buy some tickets for some other people to get there. 20K is the goal, people. Let's get there with ease. 30K? Is that too much to ask? All right, I'm done. I'm not go too far, people. Big up on yourself. Respect again for joining the show. And till next time, bless up on yourself, people. Manners and respect. We're out.